Welcome back to Lessons Learned. This is week 4 of the Scrappy Celebrations Sew Along. I hope you are making progress on your A through D blocks, because today we're going to start the E and the F blocks. First, the E block. The E block is blue, and I have marked out here the block, how it's supposed to go together. This is on page 36. The prior page shows the smaller one, but it has so many figures on it, so many measurements on it, I could not black them all out like I did this without blacking out the entire block. So this is on page 35, so you look at this first because you're going to make all of these up first. There are 6 blocks, 6 9.5-inch blocks for E, and each one of them is going to have 5 of these. So this is a little bit more laborious than the last 2, but we will get them done. And you will notice that the corner blocks are one size, these little blue blocks right here, but the center one is bigger. So make sure you get that straight in your head, that the middle one is a different size than the other 4. Now this isn't sewn in, but once this is sewn in, it will look as narrow as these right here. So blue, we need to use our blues. There's 6 blocks. I have 4 prints here. I'm just going to kind of mix them up. I don't know if I will mix them between blocks. I think for an entire block I will use the same print. So I'll have 4 options here, and then I'll duplicate 2 of these. I don't know which 2 yet. And then as usual, I'm using my white on white. These are just some scraps. These are the small pieces that I have for now. I'm going to try to use those up before I cut into the rest of it. So let me go ahead and cut up my pieces according to what it says on page 35 for these blocks, and then I believe the measurement for these are on page 36. So go ahead, I probably will do all of my white ones first, get those out of the way, and then my smaller white ones, which these are oblong, those are rectangles, they're not squares, but they are all the same size in each one of these. So the smaller of the 2 whites, there's a big one, this is the smaller one. You'll make all of these the same size. So we have 2 different sizes in the blue and 2 different sizes in the white. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those up and show you how those are laid out. So let's look and see where these E blocks are going to go. In our first row we have 1. Our second row we have 1. Our third row we have 1. And then it skips this row. Our 5th row has 1. This row has none. And then your bottom 2 rows each has 1. So there are your 6 blocks. So you can kind of see what they're going next to if you need to compare with some of the blocks that you already have finished. But I think they're just going to slide in there nice and scrappy no matter what. Here are the 2 main pieces of this block that we're doing. Here are my pieces to make this section, and then these will go in between. So you'll have 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like this diagram right here. So there again, we want to probably use our 1/4 inch, scant 1/4 inch on these because of all the extra seams, just slightly. And then once I get this one done, I want to show you something about opening your seams, pressing your seams open, and how to get them to stay open. So let me go ahead and do this part. I'll do this, and then I'll show you that, and then I'll put my entire block together. Okay, so the product I want to show you is made by a company called Acorn. It's made in Canada. It says it's non-toxic, but it does say to keep it out of your eyes. So at a minimum, there's some sort of detergent or something in here. It doesn't have the ingredients on it. But what you do is you get a quantity of this. I think this is the smallest refill bottle you can get. You can get much bigger bottles in this, quarts and gallons even. And then you put it inside of your pen. So you open the bottom of your pen and you put that down in there. Just screws open like this, and it's a little bit sudsy, so be careful pouring that in there. You don't want to pour too much and it start sudsing out on you, then you'd be wasting it. Put that back on there tight, and then you have like a felt tip, like a marker. And then what you can do is just kind of open your seams up just like you would when you're finger pressing. You push down until it recedes down into, see that, how it goes down in there? And it gets it wet with this solution. So you can just run those down through there. I'm not very dexterous with it, but I can feel that it's wet. And then run your hot iron over it. And it does make a very nice flat seam. So that's how you can get some flatter seams if you're not happy with how your seams are laying down. I'm okay with my finger pressing and then just pressing with a regular iron. But this does seem to give it kind of a, I don't know, kind of a starched feel. I don't know if it's actually shrinking the fabric or not. I guess I'll find out when I put this up against one of my other squares. I think I put a little bit too much on there. No, they didn't shrink, I don't think. They're exactly the size of my white ones. So there you go. You can see that it's exactly the same size. So it didn't shrink it. So that's good to know. But it definitely does make a very flat seam if that's important to you. And I will leave a link in the description box as to where you can get this. It comes in a little set to start, like a little starter set with these two pieces. And then you can order whatever size refill you want for your pen. I suppose your felt tip could get worn out. You might need a new pen occasionally if you use this a lot. But just a little helpful tool there. And some people like to use flatter. There's a product called Flatter that you can spray on, and it kind of does the same thing, but I think this product actually does a little better job than the flatter. So there you go. If you want to try something like that, I'll leave you a link and you can get you a set. Also, if you had the Sew Sampler box of about 2 or 3 months ago, that's where I got this. It was in my Sew Sampler box. So, yeah. No, that's not true. I got this set at my local quilt shop with the Acorn glue in it. The little seam glue. That's where I got that. But I think, yeah, a few months back, this was also in the Sew Sampler box. So try it out if you want. Nice flat seams. Alright, my first block E done. Yeah, it turned out cute. These are very lacy looking, aren't they? I tried to look and see which one of these squares I used this Acorn product on. And I can't, honestly, I can't tell. I know it's not that one because that one's a little fluffy. It's probably this one or this one, and I only did it on one. So, I mean, I can't really tell that it adds anything. I don't know if you just want to see that, you know, super flatness when you're piecing. That's the product for you. Here's the flatter I was talking about. I can't tell that this does anything as far as opening seams. I mean, other than regular ironing does. Smells good. Comes in different flavors. This one's wild mint. I'll put links for both of these products in the description box in case you want to try them out. But I can't really tell that it really helps that much with anything. Once you get this all put together with batting and a backing, quilt it, wash it, all that stuff's gone anyway. So I mean, I can finger press and then press with the iron and feel like I get good enough results to get a square block. So, you know, the less expense the better these days, right? So you can try those products out, see what you think, let me know. And I think for now I will just stick with the old iron. And then next on the docket is block F. And they are much more simpler than this block is. This block is easy and simple, but there's just a lot of little pieces, and we've got 6 of them. So I will get busy on these as well. But first let me show you that F block. Alright, let's move on to the F blocks. The F blocks are this configuration here. You have 2 big green squares, and then you have 2 4 patches. The 4 patches consist of your lights that are low volume, or the white on white is what I'm using. I could potentially just run along, you know, add these together and just make one long piece here and here, and then make this a section. So if you're doing something like that, you can do that. Or you can just go ahead and cut out your full 3 white squares if you want. So if you're using a lot of different of the white background prints, you could just mix all these up, or just do them however you want to do them. There are only 4 of these blocks, and I'll refer back to this. There is 1 here. And pay attention that your 2 greens are facing this way. Your other 3 are here, here, and here. And all 3 of those go this way. So that's kind of different. I would have expected 2 going one way and 2 going the other. But it's 1 this way and 3 this way. So just kind of pay attention to that. Yeah, I think there's some reason why that is, so I'm just going to go ahead and follow the lead on that. So this is very easy. All you're going to have to do is make your 2 green blocks and then your 2 colored blocks and then your whites. So I am going to use my only 2 reds that I have. I'm gonna mix and match these among the 4 blocks, and then I have 4 different greens that I haven't used a whole lot of yet. I haven't used this one at all, so I'm going to throw that in for something different. And then these 3, I think I may have used these 3 on some prior blocks, but I just picked those 4 out, and that's what I'm going to use for these. So I'm going to go ahead and make this up and show you what that looks like. Here's the first F block, and this is my 1 block that's going to go this way. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one out of the way, and then the other 3 can go this way with the green. So you have your 4 pieces here. You want to do these 4 patches first. Make sure your 2 reds or dark pinks even, or pink. You can use pink too. It said pink, dark pink, or red. I just chose to use my reds. So these 2 always go in the middle. So once you get these 4 patches done, make sure they're turned that way. And then just sew here and here, and then this section gets sewn to this section. I'll do that right now and we'll take a look. One thing I want to tell you that do not use scant 1/4 inch on these. You just have the 1 seam both directions. Just use your 1/4 inch. As you can see, they turn out exactly what your other squares are. I think I'm going to turn these this way, like that. So I'll put these 2 together, these 2, and I'll put the 2 rows together. Here we go, super easy. My 1 and only block with the greens going this way. The other 3 will go the other direction. And so very, very easy and quick. I wish we had more like this. Have 6 of these and 4 of these. That'd be better, wouldn't it? Have 2 done so far on these. So stay tuned for the very end here, and you will see a little show of all my blocks finished, blocks E and F, and then I will see you back here for week 5 for blocks G and H. All right, have fun. Bye. But one more thing before I show you the finished blocks. If you remember, I took this black and white copy of this page here, this page 41, and I've just been marking off my blocks as we go through the letters and getting them done. You'll notice that the top row is finished. You could potentially go ahead and put that first row together, but as I was looking down through here, it's pretty sporadic after that. So, I mean, if all of your blocks are the same, like they're shown here, like every letter, like all the A's were exactly the same fabrics, yeah, you could go ahead and put that row together if you want to, but I think I would wait if you're using true scrappiness for this, because you might get some fabrics too close together, you know, you might get some weirdness. But by all means, you can put your first row together if all your blocks are the same. Now for that show.